Yeah, this will be my first one not going. And then we also have my topic for the night, which Saturday Night Main Event is coming back. It'll be on Peacock on the 14th, I believe, Pop. And our big match that's been announced is Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. We'll talk about that match. We're also going to talk about classic Saturday Night Main Events. We had the for years Saturday Night Main Event. That was a big deal, and it was always kind of a showcase for top guys like Hogan, Mr. T versus Mr. T in Hogan's corner as Hogan fights Cowboy Bob Orton. I believe that was with Piper and Orton's corner, and I think that was the first Saturday Night Main Event, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had the Mega Powers versus Akeem, the African Dream, and what was that tag team's name? The Twin Towers or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Dream and Big Boss Man.
Right.
So, yeah, actually, that's why I wore this shirt, because both of those guys were formerly managed by Jim Cornette.
Zeus was on a Saturday night.
Zeus was, yeah.
Saturday Night Main Event.
Yep, Zeus was. There's a lot of big ones. Like, it was a big deal for a long time. I went back and rewatched a few of those matches today, just to kind of get in the mood for nostalgia for the old Saturday Night Main Event. And actually, the match I enjoyed the most was Mega Powers versus Akeem and Boss Man. We always, I always talk about it on my little rants about how we're trying to do too much with wrestling now. That match was, that crowd was there for it. They were blowing the roof off the joint. And I mean, you were getting right hands and a backdrop and an atomic drop and not much, a couple of spills to the outside. And same with the Cowboy Bob Orton Hogan match. By today's standards, you would have fans of indie wrestling, fans of AEW, they would say, oh, this is boring. There's nothing here, but the crowd paid money for it. And they were livid, you know what I mean? Those guys knew how to get you to invest in the story where you didn't need to see people destroy furniture or jump off of 15-foot cages and break both their ankles.
No, yeah.
Which, if you don't know, that's what happened to Big Bronson Reed.
Right. Yeah. Saturday night was good. I hate to go off topic, but I just watched an old match. If I may, it was, do you remember the Ken Patera versus Bobby the Brain family? I think I shared a link in the chat about a month ago.
So it was Heenan family versus Ken Patera?
Yeah, you want to talk about a freaking storyline. The whole family came down and beat him with a belt, and he had blisters. It was the worst belt beating I think I've ever seen. And Bobby Heenan had that broken neck, and he sold that neck I don't know if that was fake or real, but what a freaking couple nights they had. They had to what do you call that whenever two people talk? In a debate. They had a debate, and it was so good. If you haven't seen it in a while, I'd rewatch it.
And of course, Ken Patera is the guy who took on a McDonald's, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bobby the Brain really is he cooked him pretty bad. He brought that up. He was a felon and a prisoner, and kept telling him it was good.
I think there's a story. It might be later that day's story. No, because he beat the charges on that McDonald's thing. He didn't get as near much trouble he should have. And I think it was Wendy's, actually. It might have been a Wendy's. But anyway, he fought it because he he just played the deny game. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there. Like, that wasn't me. I saw the guy that did it, but he said that he was a fired employee and he was mad at him or whatever. Like, that's the guy you all need to arrest. But I think one of the times Ken Patera got arrested, he was with Haku, maybe, or a Barbarian, somebody like that.
I think that's a story I remember too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess he had he had a problem with like getting his food after matches. I guess it happened a few times.
Yeah. Well, with that one, whatever fast food restaurant chain it was, they were shooting a commercial when he showed up to get his food. So he was under the impression they were open because he looked in the window and he's like, there's this whole tray of burgers, like, and there were cameras. So I figured they were open. And I tried to get service. I tried to go in. The door was locked. I tried to go up to the walk up. That was closed. And they told me, oh, we're closed. We're actually just here filming a commercial. The restaurant closed like half an hour ago. Well, he was hungry and he was like, you got burgers right there. I'll buy those burgers. And, I think he was also drunk at the time.
Right.
And allegedly threw a boulder through the window of said fast food restaurant.
Yeah, it's amazing what your attitude could get you into. He was in jail for a little bit of time, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, he did some time on that. K-Pop says, did he go to Flavor Flav's? No, that was me. That was me that got robbed there. But yeah, so trying to get back to Saturday Night Main Event. Now, Biggie, I'm sure you've seen Mega Powers versus Dream and Big Boss Man. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I remember it. I can't remember who was in which spot. I believe Hogan or Macho. I'm guessing Hogan was getting wrecked, and they were just piling on top of him. And Macho was taking his time, or is it back the wrong way? Which way?
Reverse. So, and it wasn't he was taking his time. Hogan saves Liz in that match. So Liz gets wrecked on the outside, and Hogan gets her on a gurney while Savage is still in the ring and getting worked over by both guys. And once Hogan assures that she's going to be okay, and he's got her with, the medical professionals, he runs back, wrecks house, and then Savage leaves him, and he gets beat up a little bit, but he takes care of business for the most part and gets the hell out of there. But this is where they start playing up, can the Mega Powers coexist, right? And that was all on a Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah.
Hello to Anthony Blaze. Hello to Papa Wheelie. Carlito earlier. K-Pop. Bleeker. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome. We're just talking Saturday Night Main Event. It's coming back. We're going to have Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Next a week from Saturday.
So you hear about well, before we go there, did you hear about Triple H is allegedly protecting Cody?
From what?
Well, they said instead of having that match on a Saturday night, they could have done it in Canada, and they think Triple H made the decision not to do it because they didn't want Kevin Owens to have the home country advantage,
which is kind of smart. I mean, why would you go somewhere where your top baby face could potentially not have the crowd? I mean, that just makes sense to me.
Well, I mean, you want to build them both up for the biggest match you can. It wouldn't bother me if the champ's battling got over a little bit. He already beat him once.
Pop, at this point, do you think we're past all rumors that Kevin Owens might potentially go to AEW? Doesn't seem like it's happening, does it? Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious Cody's going to win. I do think, Biggie, you said this over a month ago. You kind of called Cody out for being a little too corny in his promos. I think the fans are starting like that. That's teetering. Like, I think he's pushing his luck a little bit with the cheesy babyface promos.
Yes, no way. Yes, no way in hell.
Yeah, he's
Owens will go there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he will either. Anyway, sorry, Biggie.
No, you're fine. Pop was, he didn't get to answer, but the Cody Rhodes stuff, I wanted Cody to be champ. I was just hoping for more of like a edge once he got to be champ, you know, maybe I mean, he performs well. His promos ain't the greatest, and the whole American Nightmare, I'm George Washington suit shit is getting a little old.
Sergeant Pepper's, I don't know what it is. Like, yeah, he's either a colonial soldier or it feels like he's forcing something he's not. Like, I feel when he can tap into real stuff that makes sense, but he's stretching too much lately. And I think he's gone to the well of, like, you know, living in his father's shadow. Like, I don't know. I just think, I think it's worn out. I think we've moved on, right? Like, we've got a lot of intriguing promos on this show. We've got a lot of great wrestlers, probably too many that could have the top spot. And we can briefly touch over Survivor Series because I think we all watched that, right?
No, I didn't watch it all. No, I think I know what happened in a couple of matches.
Okay, well, we had a women's Survivor Series match, we had a men's, and then in between we had Gunther versus Priest, and we had God, I almost called him Eli. LA Knight lost his title to Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's right. Yeah.
Who looks better now? Like, I don't know. Whatever they're doing with the makeup, he looks more presentable than he did the last time he was there.
Who, Shinsuke?
Yeah, that guy's my age, and he looks 60 at times. Like, depending on how they do his makeup or whatever, or what scuba suit he's wearing, like, it's just like, man, you look terrible. Like, we're the same age.
I thought his outfit looked bland. It made him look like a jobber myself.
Yeah, I don't like the one piece they put him in. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think it was time to move on from LA Knight.
I mean, the main event was the two heads of the table, and I mean, going into it, we kind of felt like, I mean, at least I did, maybe a heel turn from Paul Heyman or a Rock appearance, and I think some of the fans were a little disappointed or wasn't any surprise guests. Did you get that in filling at any point?
I mean, I feel like the internet was disappointed. That crowd was into it. Punk, I think they did a really good job with Punk and Roman in the storyline of, hey, Paul, I did this for you, but now you owe me one. So there's that down the line. Cody, what did Papa say to Bleecker here? Cody Sleeper, right? QJ. Oh, spell it right. Pop misspelled spell. which is great.
What do you think about the rumors that CM Punk took Seth Rollins' spot on that team?
So this past Monday's promo, yeah, I thought that was great. We know that in real life, Seth Rollins is not a CM Punk fan. We're finally seeing how AEW should have treated Punk. If everybody knows people don't like him, use it. Use it to draw interest. Use it to sell tickets. Use it to get people to watch your product. And they're doing it because WWE aren't dum-dums that inherited money. Also,
Yeah.
Did anybody follow Effie's comments? The independent wrestler Effie. He got into he hurt Tony Khan's feelings in real life, and like Tony Khan took to the internet. I will say he was a little stiff, and it looks like he cost the company he works for money. So maybe he shouldn't have done that. He's an independent wrestler that wrestles pretty much exclusively for GCW, which is a Florida-based independent company, but they go around. They do shows up the East Coast. Well, Effie was mad that AEW is doing a Hammerstein Ballroom show like 2 weeks away from their show at the Hammerstein. And Effie... Let me see if I don't want to misquote the guy, but he went a little bit hard on Tony Khan.
I missed that, but I did see where Ricochet says that he's the reason AEW's successful right now.
Yeah, I literally saw that right before I showed up.
What an idiot.
All right, let's see what Effie said. Effie on Tony Khan. Ricky. Oh, it all started over Ricky Starts. Man, all I can see is more recent stuff. So Ricky Starks got pulled from GCW events for what he said. It's really made Effie pretty it's given him a lot of fame here. And let's see. Where are the original quotes? Yeah, so he was mad that AEW booked that. And this is nothing to the talent. I think the blah 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 blah. Okay, so now he's talking about why GCW needs Hammerstein more and why they needed AEW to stay away. Brett, the owner of GCW, Brett doesn't own a football team. Brett doesn't have a dad who pays him to stay away. I don't want this to be a personal thing. I don't. But hey, guys, you're not the only game in town. It's fine. I can't stop you from running venues. But my line of work, when TNA Impact wanted to run center stage, GCW a month before and a month after were told we could not have those dates. Sorry, my cat's scratching up the door. That we had secured, blah, blah, blah. So I guess it hurt Tony Khan's feelings to be told that he only has jobs because of his father, which if he didn't know that the only reason he works for the Jacksonville Jaguars is because of his dad owning it, like, I guess I don't know why he's offended by that. Like, why do you care what an independent wrestler who I've only heard of before this, because one of his gimmicks is he tries to impale his opponents onto dildos in the that are anchored on the ring posts. Like, why would you ever care what somebody like that thinks of you and your fortune? You know what I mean? Like, what you can't. I mean, Biggie, what do you think? Can you take hard feelings to stuff like that?
I would imagine that's not the first time he's heard that said.
I guess that's my point. Like, I just thought it was common knowledge. You've got that. You work for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the way that I worked for my mom's lawn when she paid me to cut it. Like, I wasn't getting that job because I was the best qualified lawn cutter in the neighborhood. I got it because it was my mom's lawn, and she was, gonna buy my comics anyway. So she's like, "All right, mow the lawn. I'll give you $10 to go get your comic books."
Yeah.
The women's war games was kinda the shits until like 3/4 of a way through.
Well, you and I have already argued about this, Pop. You liked that thing at first. Pop, Nia Jax is unwatchable for me. Plus, I get constantly worried she's going to hurt people.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of the matches. I was not. I mean, the CM Punk shit was worth watching on YouTube for a little replay. It was kind of cute seeing him jump in front of Roman or jump in front of whatever the fuck his name is, Jacob. But I don't really give a fuck too much about the women wrestling right now.
Well, and you know how I feel about having two different gendered war games in the same night. Same with two Royal Rumbles. Why would I eat dinner before I have dinner? Like, I don't want to double up the amount of a specialty event. Either have an all women's, like have a women's Survivor Series, or have a men's. Like, I don't want to see this match twice in a night.
Have we ever had the World Championship? I mean, I know what's his name, the Russian guy or German guy put his belt up, but the main world championship, like Cody's belt, get put up during a Survivor Series, or
it did not. They're saving that for Saturday night's main event.
But they've done it before.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That might have drew some more, like, put him up against somebody. Who would you put him up against? What is the next pay-per-view? When's the next time I mean, I guess he's defending in the Saturday night.
Yep.
But
that's his next big one.
He's got about a 15% chance of losing that. Is there anything else up the road? Is that all we're looking forward to?
I mean, that's the next big thing, Saturday night main event. And I mean, I'm sure they will stock that with stars. We have John Cena coming back soon. I kind of thought he might show up at it. They're trying to make this a big deal. One thing I'll say about not using Cody at Survivor Series, that to me, Biggie, seems like what you're saying. They're protecting him, because I think they were worried about him kind of getting diluted by being around all those other stars, right?
Yeah, that's the rumor is Triple H is protecting him, that he wants to make this run a little longer. Maybe he's good for the face of the. He don't want to maybe expose him to a bad experience. Maybe I don't know who I'd put Cody against. I mean, AJ was perfect, but I think AJ's kind of out the way, and I don't know who else could really make him look good besides who's a good worker that's at the top right now.
Yeah.
Not Punk. It's Roman. We've done that. Rock. There's not really a bunch of options. Randy Orton would be fun, but I mean, that's kind of the trifecta right now. You got Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody, in my opinion.
And now whatever you were doing with Bronson Reed, he's going to be on the shelf for a while. I don't know what possessed that guy to jump like that, but yeah, he broke both his ankles. Gravity definitely took over.
Well, that's the thing I was saying about Seth Rollins, is that, like, okay, so they had one of those Samoans beat Seth Rollins recently to kind of put him down, and CM Punk came and joined on with Roman. That was going to be Seth Rollins' spot. Now Seth Rollins ain't really looking too hot right now, so kind of burnt his push too.
All right, you need both, but both need to mean something. The women had no storyline behind that match, but the men did. I mean, I think they both had. Oh, dang, Brother Joe. We need to get Brother Joe on. I know, like, we kind of took a hiatus the week he was, the weeks I wanted to get him on. Brother Joe, we need you to come on and talk some women wrestling for us, because we didn't dig the Survivor Series match, at least for the most part. Biggie didn't watch it. I didn't think it was. I'll agree with you, Pop. It had a very long, cold spot to it. I think it really highlighted that Nia Jax is just not an entertaining wrestler, and I'm afraid she's going to hurt somebody. Like, seriously. She's a very what would the word, she potatoes people, and it doesn't even look good.
Potato giver, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about? I was a little surprised with the way New Day worked out. I was thinking it was going to be either Xavier or Kofi was going to turn heel. One be the one,
not
the other
both
would be
of them.
Not both of them. They said, and then logically it makes sense. Is it just to give Big E a rub? Like Big E has been a non-factor. Like
he's been injured for years now. The serious neck injury.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just an easy way for both. Maybe they just wanted to both be heel, but I would love to see.
I think Big E's coming back is what this tells me. Why would you run this angle if Big E's not coming back?
Maybe they both wanted to turn heel. Maybe he still won't come back. I don't know. I hope he does come back. I liked Big E when he could wrestle. Like, he was fun.
Well, you know what Oh, sorry.
That blew my fucking mind.
I didn't see it coming either. And I have a soft spot for Big E because I don't think we've ever talked about this before. But, Big E played for my college football team, the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Oh, okay, nice.
His real name, Ettore Iwan. And, yeah, he played, he was a defensive player for the Hawks. Got injured, ended up graduating early and, like, getting into powerlifting. But, yeah, he had a couple years with the Hawks. Not a star player by any means, but anybody that was a Hawkeye is cool in my book, man.
Yeah, he's the only modern wrestler I know of that actually looked up to Goldberg.
Yeah.
He's a Goldberg fan.
Well, and he's a powerlifting guy, too. Like, you talked about Ken Patera earlier. Ken Patera, big powerlifter, Olympian. Mark Henry, you kind of had this long line of wrestling powerlifters, and after Mark Henry, it kind of stopped. Maybe Ryback, but other than that, and I don't know if Ryback was, I think he was more a bodybuilder than he was a powerlifter, but Big E, yes, powerlifter.
Yeah. I mean, there's rumors John Cena is pretty strong, but I don't know if he ever was like a powerlifter,
Hey, in the chat there, Brother Joe, what did you think of that? What do you think of Nia Jax? I'm just curious. I know you're a big fan of women's wrestling. Are you in defense of Nia Jax, or do you think our criticism is apt?
I think women are getting more athletic and putting on more decent matches, but their storytelling and gimmicks for like a long-going feud and shit is way, way underneath men's. Like, men have been doing it consistently strong and making great storyline. And until I see like a really good women's storyline where I'm like, oh, this is interesting, I can't give them a bunch of credit,
Oh, man. I'm
There's
tired.
no doubt Big E is returning.
There's no doubt. So you think he's for sure got a match in him? Good. I hope he does. I'm interested to see what the heel faction of the New Day does against Big E. And you know, he'll obviously need a partner, but there's tons of guys available for that. And we'll never know what happened to Odyssey Jones. He went on an Odyssey. He's gone.
Yeah. Am I crazy, or did Big E start with CM Punk?
Dolph Ziggler.
Was it Ziggler? Okay. Was he ever with Punk?
No?
You don't think so? No? Okay.
Yeah, brother John Comics. Yeah, two Bro Joes. So Brother Joe says she's big and bad, but she can be beat if the cards are right. I just more mean I don't like her style of wrestling because I think she's unsafe. I think she drops her weight on people and not in a good way, not safe. I think she's come very close to really putting some people on the shelf.
Well,
and it doesn't look good. She looks uncomfortable in the ring.
the thing is with her is like she has a different body style than the other girls, first of all. So she has to be like the big woman, you know, like I'm bigger than you, and she works that gimmick halfway decent. But you know, it looks a little different when a chick is landing on a 100-pound girl as opposed to a dude landing on like a 280-pound guy. You know, it just seems different, I think.
Well, simply put, she was not being used. It looks like intentionally for probably the reasons I've brought up until her cousin got on the board of directors and then she got a push. If she's not The Rock's cousin, do you think she's in as many main events for the women? Do you think she has a title on her?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I think she has her spot because she is The Rock's cousin. And Pop's typing something up. Yeah. Yeah, that's The Rock shine for sure. Yeah. She was not being utilized. You would see her like once every few months. And she wasn't being used on top. She was definitely not getting a title push. And yeah, now she does. Just like The Rock's daughter, for whatever reason, is the commissioner of NXT or the manager or whatever. Yeah, Tiffy. When is Tiffy going to cash in? I really thought it was happening at SummerSlam. I thought it was happening at Survivor Series, and she didn't do it. Does she hold on to it until WrestleMania? That's actually one of the few women angles I like right now. I like Tiffy time.
I had an idea. Royal Rumble number 1 Kofi number 2 Xavier and then 3-2-1 at number 3 Big E music hits, which will lead to Mania.
And then they can work that at Mania, yeah. I think Big E's going to need a partner, though. But yeah, yeah, I knew who you meant, Bro Joe. What else were we going to talk about? We had the men's match. We talked briefly about that. Had a lot of different angles, a lot of different heat. You've got so many matches that you still have yet to do with all this. Drew McIntyre returned on Monday. Yeah, WWE's got a lot of stars. Biggie, you got anything you want to say about Survivor Series?
Not off the top of my head. I can't think of anything too important.
Are there any matches that you're looking forward to? Sorry, Pop, just 1 second.
No, can't think of any.
All right, Pop, go time.
I just made 500 bones.
Well, look at you. Is that related to wrestling in some way, or you just wanted to brag about your stack of money? Well, Papa's buying everybody's comics this week, Biggie.
Good. How'd you win it, Pop?
All right. While Pop tells us his money-making secrets, I'm going to address Brother Joe's comment. And what about Money Monet? Yeah, I don't like how AEW's using her. I think her weird stripper dance and I'm a heel with Camille, but Camille's now left her or got fired and then said, "You can't fire me, I quit." That was a bizarre. We weren't here last week to talk about this. That was a confusing angle. If you probably don't even know about it because who watches AEW? Judging by the ratings, none of us. But I do stay abreast of it. Like, Camille, have you ever seen I'm trying to think in the past where a heel bodyguard gets sick of the heel's crap. When they finally have their breakup, the bodyguard always punches the heel, right, Biggie? Like, historically, that's how that's done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this scenario, you have the massive bodyguard gets fired by the heel and says, "You can't fire me, I quit." And then, I shit you not, just shrugs her shoulders, turns around, and walks away. What?
I don't know.
Papa Wheelie says DVH. I don't see DVH in the chat. Cali Comics, hey, and aggressively relaxing. What's up, guys?
By selling my Monopoly slot machine.
Oh, didn't know you had one.
So Pop's making money.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna hop off early tonight. I gotta get in there before I wake my little guy up.
All right, man. We understand. We'll see you later, Biggie. Have a good night. And Pop, we'll probably just wrap it up then.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Later, Big. And thank you to everybody that showed up in the chat. Pop probably just needs a minute here. So if anybody has anything they want to talk about, shout out in the chat. Just anything you're watching, any matches you've seen that you liked lately. A lot going on, a lot of wrestling. As we said at the beginning of the show, Saturday Night Main Event, a week from Saturday. Yeah, man, we'd love to have you on. I should have sent you the link tonight, and I'm sorry. My bad. I dropped that ball. If you want to keep it going, Pop, Brother Joe, can you come on right now if I send you the link? Pop, are you good to hang out a little bit longer? When's your next live event, Beckerman? I don't know what, probably church. That's my weekly live event. Oh, you mean what for local wrestling? It's not until I think they're talking February or March. I'm trying to get them to do it alongside Planet Comic-Con so that if they did that, then I can take Pocan Joe to the show. All right, I'm sending Brother Joe, I'm going to send you the link right now. I cannot walk and chew gum at the same time, so bear with me here, folks. Brother Joe. There you go. Let's check your IG, man. Anybody else want the link? Anybody want to pop on, talk wrestling? You're more than welcome. Just ask for it. I'll get it to you. Unless it's Callie. That just seemed fun to say. So while we wait for Brother Joe, yeah, so I'm...
Hat you thin of the new women's titles.
I don't like it. Too close together, too. They should have spaced that out, make one mean something, and then bring another one in. Intercontinental and U.S. you're talking about, right? The women's versions? Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. All righty. And Brother Joe, he's somebody that goes to the local wrestling with me. I know we've got Bleeker interested now. That's my trick to get him to America. Lure him in with independent pro wrestling in Kansas City. Aggressively relaxing says Marcus has been trying to talk everyone into coming to the Planet Comic-Con. Going to a wrestling event with the boys might be what gets me in the car. Yeah, man. Bleeker says, seems like they have 15 belts on 20 wrestlers. Yeah. It's not there's something to be said for, like, you can do it if it means something, right? If you can run enough angles and enough meaningful storylines to make all those belts matter, then it's fine. But if you're just doing it so people can walk around with some, you know what I mean? Like, that, it don't make sense. I think we've seen AEW do it the wrong way. You know, they honor the Ring of Honor titles there. They have their own. And you've had guys like FTR and Kenny Omega bring over titles from Japan, Mexico, TNA. Yeah, it's chaos. It's belt chaos out there. I don't think WWE needs to be involved in it.
Should have been two matches for both. Should have been two matches for both at WrestleMania.
Pop, is Brother Joe in the back? Okay. Don't know where he's at. I'll hit him up. And I know he's going to talk women's wrestling with us. But yeah, I would love to get a big group to go to a local show here, like from the YouTube community. I will say it's a different style, the local KC wrestling. It's a little more smaller scale, kind of. It's a combination of like indies and like the old school territory style of wrestling. Bleeker says, remember when the Intercontinental belt was awesome, macho, and honky tonk? Yeah. We've had great intercontinental champs since. I just think I think it gets diluted now because look, you have 2 heavyweight titles, 2 intercontinental U.S. title. Now you've got, and then you have the tag team titles on both shows, so the SmackDown and the Raw titles. I just think it's too much. I think it's too many titles. It's hard. It's hard to make people care about that many different champions. Do you think they need to be consolidated, Pop? I think Gunther makes his belt matter.
Some yes.
Yeah, for the women, I don't think we needed an Intercontinental and a US. It could have just been Intercontinental. Let it go between both shows. I don't know why they try to keep those rosters separate. Like, just work matches. Then again, WWE doesn't really have matches. They have promos, and lots of them. Yeah, I like consolidating the chaos. I don't think you need 2 sets of tag team titles. Motor City Machine Gun should hold both. Just consolidate. I mean, at this point, I would probably have Gunther beat Cody, but I don't think that's Triple H's plan. I mean, they're really pushing Cody Rhodes.
US title is only there 'cause it's USA.
Oh, Brother Joe can't get on, Pop. It's because you got that weird YouTube thing on there, isn't it? I know it gave me problems the first time I was on.
What YouTube thing?
Whenever I come on here, it makes me like confirm my YouTube account. Cody is super lame and seems like he's trying too hard. Yeah, I mean, it's coming off that way. It's starting to come off insincere, I think. And I don't know how much longer the crowd's going to be behind him. I think we might be seeing like Hogan and WWE circa 1993, 92, right before he went to WCW, where he'd kind of worn out his welcome with the crowd. Well, anyway, if Joe can't get on here, we'll just call it a night. I'm gonna message him. Many apologies to Brother Joe. Oh, he's backstage. Never mind. Well, he says he is. You don't see him, Pop?
The link too. I sent him the link too.
Okay. Damn, Bleak's getting personal with Cody Rhodes. Cody is too skinny and has weird shoulders. Yeah, you know, I was into him when we were at WrestleMania. I wanted him to finish the story. I was glad he was the one to take the title off Roman. I don't know if we need another year of Cody Rhodes as champ. I'd be okay to consolidate the titles and begin the reign of Gunther, whatever we're calling him. I like Gunther better than Gunther. Can you take a look again, Pop? See if he's back there? Nothing. All right. I'm going to let Brother Joe know. I think we're going to call it. Pop was having technical difficulties beforehand, so this might, I don't know if this is related to it.
Beckman Bleak is still in the 80s big dude wrestlers.
Well, Bleeker likes his men to be bigger with thick muscles. That's how he likes them. I myself, I like my fellas like I like my drinks. Tall, strong, a little fruity, and under an umbrella. There, that's a King of the Hill joke, if anybody was following. All right, Pop. Let's end it. Everybody, thanks for hanging out tonight. Let's see if he has his Porky Pig ready. Thanks, everybody.
Look at Sable. How could you not? Ah.